The story begins with an accident where we see a man lying on the ground. Very cunning, but there he says while dying, "Ha, am I dead? This is not bad either. It's better to just die than live such a life." We are shown a scene from some time earlier where the main protagonist of the story and his friend are taking a break from work, relaxing on the rooftop of a building while drinking coffee. At that moment, his friend says to him, "I really don't understand how you have a girlfriend." The main character replies, "It's my personality and charm." His friend grabs him by the shoulder and asks him to tell how he met his girlfriend. Jo-sun also responds, "You know, I told you that I studied veterinary science in college, right?" Upon hearing this, our hero's friend asks him how he ended up becoming a programmer. Our hero replies that the salaries were high, and by the third year of college, he hardly attended classes and instead started learning programming through online courses. The story continues as he starts to rekindle his love story. He mentions that last year, a classmate asked him to help take care of a pet store. When called, he goes to the pet store to assist. While he is looking at the pets there, a girl enters. At first sight, our hero falls in love with her and starts blushing as he watches her. The girl asks him if he is the veterinarian. Hearing this, he gets nervous, accidentally drops the pet he was holding, and awkwardly responds that yes, he is the vet. He then examines the girl's pet, bathes it, and from that day on, the girl starts coming to the store regularly. Over time, a bond forms between them, leading to love blossoming between the two. Hearing this, our hero's friend tells him how lucky he is. He then adds, "You can't force these kinds of things. It depends on fate. Today is their first anniversary, and he has plans with her after work." Just then, his friend's phone starts ringing, and when he sees the caller ID, both of them start to panic. As soon as he answers the phone, they hear someone shouting from the other side, "Stop hiding there, slacking off. Hurry up and come here." Hearing this, they both rush back to the office. Upon arriving, their boss welcomes them by scolding them, saying, "So you don't want your job anymore? You disappear at 3 in the afternoon, just slacking off while getting paid. Huh, out of the whole department, you two are the worst at slacking off. Look, if you don't want to work, there are plenty of people who do. How's the Z Company project coming along?" Hearing this, they both tell the boss they haven't worked on it yet. Upon hearing this, the boss yells at them again, saying, "Then get on it quickly. The client needs it by tomorrow." The boss then brings his face close to theirs and says again, "Do I need to repeat myself? Tomorrow, I want it done." And with that, the boss walks back to his cabin. As soon as the boss goes into his cabin, our hero, Lu Guan, sits down in his chair. Seeing this, his friend asks him, "Lu Guan, what about your anniversary date? Are you going to skip it? I'll help you finish the work quickly." Hearing this, Lu Guan replies, "How can I do that? I'll just tell my girlfriend first. She generally understands." And then, a conversation between the lovebirds begins through messages. "Baby, I have to work overtime today and can't make it." "Ah, so, you'll be home late, Lu Guan? I'm sorry, there's nothing to be sorry about. It's all because of that bald guy's fault. Don't worry, I will definitely be home before 12 o'clock. After this conversation, his girlfriend sends him a private picture of herself. Seeing the picture, both Lu Guan and his friend start blushing. But Lu Guan quickly turns his friend's face the other way, stopping him from looking at it. After this, both of them get motivated to finish their work before 11 o'clock. After some time, it shows that both of them are coming out of the office, and as soon as they step outside, they both take a deep breath of relief and start dancing happily right there. They hug each other because they had finished their work before 11:00. Then, they both head towards their respective homes. Before going home, Lu Guan remembers the picture of his girlfriend and calls her. As soon as the call is answered, he says, "Baby, I'm getting off work right now. Sorry we had an appointment today." But then, he hears some strange noises from the other side of the phone. At first, he doesn't understand, but after listening carefully, he is shocked to realize what those sounds are. It's revealed that on the other side of the phone, his girlfriend is meeting with another guy. On the other end, the guy deliberately keeps the phone connected to taunt Lu Guan, saying to the girl, "Didn't you say he would find out sooner or later? Plus, he's too young and can't satisfy you, can he? Don't you want him to find out faster?" The girl replies, "You're disgusting." He's still listening. Hearing this, Lu Guan's phone falls from his hand and he, shivering with despair, starts to cross the road without noticing the red signal. Despite attempts by some people to stop him, he ignores them and ends up getting hit by a truck. The truck, which is responsible for transporting characters from the manga and anime world to another world, completes its task as a result. The scene starts with he slowly regaining consciousness. As he begins to wake up, he hears faint sounds and sees some things in front of him. Looking at them, He starts saying, I'm not dead yet. Is this the doctors? I don't think they look like though. Once he's fully awake, he sees small monsters in front of him, and he gets startled, sitting up in fear. These small monsters start running away from him, hiding behind trees and rocks. Looking at them, he thinks to himself, where am I? Did I not die in a car crash? I'm wearing nothing. There's no injuries on my body either. Saying this, he stands up and walks a little ahead, looking down where he sees many Pokemon-like creatures enjoying themselves. Some are flying in the air, others are drinking water from a pond. Seeing all this, he wonders, is this Evan? Just then, the small monsters approach him again, and a monkey-like creature jumps onto his shoulder and starts pointing ahead. Finds the monkey cute and lovingly pats its head, and together they head down to where the other monsters are. These monsters are of a friendly nature and don't harm him, which allows to start playing and enjoying with them. Suddenly, they all hear sound. Hearing it, all the creatures start running away, but he stands there, naked and confused, as he doesn't understand whose voice it is or why the monsters are running. Then he sees something approaching from the top of a hill, a pack of wolves. Seeing them, he is shocked, his mouth wide open. As the wolves come closer, he starts running in panic, saying with long limbs and digitigrade stance, it's suited for fast running. The front feet have 4 or 5 toes, and the hind feet generally have 4 toes. While saying this, he tries to calm himself. As he runs, he enters a forest, and the wolves follow him in. Suddenly, one of the wolves jumps at him, but he dodges the attack by rolling his body. However, while running, his foot gets caught in the root of a tree, and he tumbles several times before coming to a stop. The wolves then jump on him to catch him, and he, seeing this, thinks to himself, I'm dead. At that moment, a blue light comes, rushing towards him and stops right in front of him. The blue light turns out to be a puzzle-like object, but round in shape, resembling a Pokeball. It seems like the creator of this didn't put much thought into designing it. It looks like a direct copy of a Ditto Pokemon with a few changes here and there. The puzzle ball opens up in front of him, releasing a lot of light that surrounds him, and soon, he is transformed into an energy form and captured inside it. As this happens, someone starts emerging from the bushes, and seeing this, even the wolves tremble in fear and start backing away. After some time, we see Luguan lying unconscious in a corner of a house. As he begins to regain consciousness, he slowly sits up. When he looks around, he sees many monsters resembling Pokemon, along with a man sitting on a chair. The man seems to have put these Pokemon-like monsters to work. One of the monsters, which looks like a Totodile, is using its powers to set wood on fire, while monkey-like ipalms are gathering the wood, and a Greninja-like monster is cooling down certain items nearby. Seeing all this, Lu Guan begins to think to himself, where is this? Didn't I end up in heaven? Who are these people? Did they kidnap me? But I wasn't tied up, though. While he's still processing these thoughts, the man stands up and starts walking toward him. Seeing this, Lu Guan asks, hello, may I please ask where this is? How did I get here? However, when the man reaches him, he starts speaking a language Lu Guan doesn't understand, and Lu Guan's words don't make sense to him. Realizing this, Lu Guan tries to communicate using sign language, but the man doesn't understand that either, and all of Lu Guan's attempts go over the man's head. As Lu Guan continues trying to convey his message, the man suddenly grabs a cloth and stuffs it into Lu Guan's mouth, leaving him unable to speak. Lu Guan tries to remove the cloth, but then a woman and a small child arrive on the scene. Seeing them, the man cheers up and says to the child, Xiao Bao, how was school today? Hearing this, when both of them look at them, seeing Lu Guan naked, the man's wife starts covering her face with her hands out of shame. But that small robed boy points his finger towards her and starts saying to his mother, Mom, who's that person? He has no clothes. Hearing this, her mother asks her husband, Husband, why did you bring home a naked man? Her husband explains to her and says, This is not a human, it's a humanoid figure. This is a new type of monster. I caught it in the forest. I did not know what species it is. I'll talk it to the city next week for identification. If it's a rare species, it could be worth a lot of money. Seeing which, his wife slowly removes her hands and looks ahead, but the man does not stop there and tells his wife that the size of his rocket is smaller than other humans. His wife keeps her hand in her son's eyes. Tells her husband, honey, what are you saying? Xiao Bao is still here. Seeing the looks and actions of those people he understands that tell them they are talking something about his rocket. He could not understand everything properly because he was not able to understand the language of the peoples. Then the lady starts asking her child to go out and play, and after asking him to go, the lady again starts looking towards Lu Gun's rocket and thinks, how could a human be so small? After some time, the man closes her with a pillar and he starts romancing with his wife. Listening to the sound of their romance and seeing the things happening in front of him, something starts happening and the sound of their love starts to be heard outside. But their children do not even know what is going on inside the house. The poor child does not even realize that there is going to be another share in his property. Next, a scene is shown that the sky is completely clean, and all the Pokemon, like monsters or Lu Guan, are working in the field, and the muscle guy order them to work properly, and he strike their back. Lu Guan seems to all of them. He thinks his second chance is curse his life by doing farming, he think. Why did it turn out like this? How did I end up farming with a group of creatures that I didn't even know? In my previous life, I was a decent social worker. Now that I have come to this world, it feels like I have really become a beast. Event, if you are like 7. Endlessly exploited by a heartless boss. The wonderful days of sitting in air conditioning and typing on a keyboard are still way better than this. What on earth did I do to deserve all of this suffering? No way. I must run away. If this continues, my body wouldn't be able to hand it for a long period of time. While he is thinking all this, that man starts leaving from there, but that man tells his son to stay. After seeing this, he thinks it is a very good opportunity because that muscle guy is going to go from there, and it will be easy for him to take him away from the child. On thinking this, he starts counting in his mind 3, 2, 1. He throws his hoe over there and starts running away. All the monsters who are watching get confused. Then that boy says something in his own language, and in his own language, he asks the monsters to attack him, on hearing which the monsters themselves attack him. A huge fireball comes from behind him and hits something in front of him and causes a huge blast, seeing which he is stunned, but the monsters standing behind activate their abilities and get ready to attack him, and seeing this, he gets shocked. But by doing something, he dodges the first ice attack and also dodges the attacks of the other fireballs. But that green-colored monster has a leaf of a tree on his head. By punching his hands on the ground, he takes out some roots of Lu Guan feet with his power, due to which Lu Guan falls on ground. And when he looks upwards, he sees 2 monkey-like monsters coming to attack him. Those 2 monkey-like monsters come on top of him and give him a good wash and put him to his work again. Sometime when it gets dark, that boy asks everyone to stop working in their language, hearing which all the other monsters stop their work. But Lu Guan keeps on working in anger. Then suddenly a level-up pop-up screen comes in front of him where his level increases from 0 to 1. It is written there that you have obtained +5 unallocated attribute points, which leaves the depot surprised.